Hi everyone. So during the last class, we have completed the problems based on density, right? So and I have requested you guys to solve more problems. So you get those more problems in your book. So try it even in the offline classes also. I have explained nearly some problems, and I mean nearly 10 problems I have explained. So go through them. If you have or if you get any doubts, please do ask, right? So today, before going to start our class, so there was one doubt on coordination compound, I think, right? Yes, there was a doubt on coordination compound. The doubt is like this. So I'm explaining about coordination compound, right? There was a doubt from a student. So that's why let me solve that first, and then later we will go towards today's class, right? So the doubt is this question has been asked for in your main exam. So that's why this doubt is very important. How many moles? How many moles of AgCl will be precipitated will be precipitated will be precipitated when excess excess of AgNO3 is added to 1 mole 1 mole solution of. So this is the complex. So try to name it CrCl H2O 5 time, and there is a Cl2. So this is the question. So first you try to understand this question. Question is very simple, right? So what they have asked is how many moles of AgCl will be precipitated, right? Will be precipitated when excess of AgNO3 is added to 1 mole solution of what this? That means penta aqua chloro, I mean Cl minus 2 plus 2. So that means okay. Penta aqua chloro chromium chloride 2, right? Chromium chloride 2. So this is the name of this compound. So what they have asked is directly see when we add a excess amount of, I mean to this complex particularly, to this complex when we add a excess amount of AgNO3 means how many moles of AgCl will be liberated, right? Understood? Excess amount of AgNO3, if we add this AgNO3 to this complex, then how many moles of AgCl will be liberated? Definitely they have directly given. Whenever we react this molecule with the silver, definitely silver chloride will be formed. That means what we are doing, we are adding an excess amount of Ag. See, so Ag means, so Ag is positively charged species, NO is negatively, NO3 is negatively charged species. So that means whenever we add this, we add this compound to this molecule, this complex, then definitely this will go and react with this what this Cl. Definitely. Why? Because this Cl2 is secondary valency, and secondary valency is nothing but primary valency. Primary valency is nothing but what? It is ionizable. So that means don't forget this complex will not react with this molecule. I mean, what I said, once the complex is formed, then definitely the complex will not break down very easily, right? So that's why we call them as a complex compounds or coordination compounds. So that's why what is left, I mean, the ionizable part of this complex will be Cl2. So that means here Ag is present in positive, positive form. That means 1 plus. So Ag, how many moles of Ag we require to react with this? I mean, with this Cl, definitely 2 mole we require, right? So I will write once again, so it will be very clear to you. So CrCl complex is CrCl penta aqua Cl, right? So excess amount of AgNO3 we are adding, and what he has asked, how many moles of AgCl will be liberated. So this is our question. We are adding what this this compound to this complex, right? So now Ag is the single element which can break down, or which will undergo into the ionization. So that means how many Ag will break down. So now if I write this complex, then how many Cl's? 2. So that means 2 Cl minus, or else 2 plus, right? So this is the ionization form of this complex. 2 moles of Cl are what? Ionizing. That means how many moles of AgCl will be liberated? 2 moles of AgCl will be liberated. So that means the answer will be 2 mole. So if you got it, then okay. So you can ask a question. That means, sir, if this complex is having a single Cl, means how many moles will be liberated, right? So single Cl means definitely one Ag will be react with one Cl. So definitely the answer will be 1 mole. It depends how many number of counter ions are present with the complex. That many mole only liberated or precipitated, right? And it will give chlorine means already you. I have conducted the experiment on this. Whenever there is a presence of chlorine, white color PPT will be formed, right? So that means there are 2 Cls with that same question. I mean, with this question, there are 2 Cls. That means 2 AgCl will be liberated. If it is 3, then definitely 3 mole. If it is 1, then definitely 1 mole of AgCl will be precipitated out. If you get it, then okay. Otherwise, personally you can call. Otherwise, you can message me, right? So this is very important for 1 marks. Don't forget about this. So today we will move towards the very important part of our syllabus. That is the next part of our syllabus. We can say imperfection in solid, or crystal defects, we can say, or else we can say this as crystal defects. Imperfection or crystal defect, we can call this as a crystal defect. So this part is very important. See, solid is nothing but, today we will go briefly with this heading, and then later in tomorrow's class we will see the different types, right? So see, whenever there is a presence of solid, definitely the solid will also undergo into some defects. Why? Because see, any chemical solid I am talking about. So if a chemical solid is kept outside for a longer time, then definitely there will be some imperfection. Solid means it will be always a perfect, but when we expose them, I mean chemicals to the sunlight or air, then definitely some imperfection will come. That means, see, if it is a arrangement of this solid, then if I keep this solid into the air or else if I expose it into the sunlight, then what happens? Imperfection will come. That means some property it loses. Why? Because oxygen is very strong oxidizing agent. So thus what it will do is it will react with any chemical, I mean solid chemical, very easily. Like we can say rusting of iron, right? So if we keep longer time for I mean if we expose it with the air and water, then definitely rust will come on it. Why? Because of more period. That means it is a slow reaction. Actually, these all are the very slow reaction, but definitely if we expose them into the sunlight or a physical changes, then definitely their structure or crystal may disturb. Disturb means they might be any departure. That means see any positive chemical species is nothing but always a positive negative. Alternatively, positive negatively charged species will bind each other and definitely they form one solid, right? So this is the case. If if we expose them for longer time, then definitely some imperfection. That means the positive should be here in actual, but because we are exposing it for longer time, that means this positive will not stay here, it will come somewhere at the interstitial side or in between where there is a gap. At that point it might come. So that's why see here we can say any deviation. Simply we can say deviation means deviated. It should be here in actual with the regular geometry. But because we are exposing it, what is happening it with means the small ions may what deviate or departure from their original side, or sometimes what happens the complete row will be disturbed, right? The complete row will be disturbed. So these are the some different, I mean I can say imperfection what we will see in case of solid, right? So those are I can say there are three type of I mean crystal I mean two type of crystal defects, right? So imperfection is nothing but I mean deviation or departure from their original or regular side to the other side, right? So this is the simple. Already I have given you the notes. You can go through it. Now let's see. There are two main type of crystal defects, right? So one we call as a point defect, and one more is called a line defect. Point defect and line defect. So in for your syllabus, we learn this completely or depth. We can go for point defects. So line defects also we have, right? So line defect means what I said. Point defect means a single. If there any defect in point somewhere in the point, what I showed like this. I mean positive will come to somewhere at the interstitial side like this. These type of defects are called as point defects. In single particular point, they may departure or they may I mean what happens deviate from their original side to some other place, right? And the line defect is nothing but if the complete row is disturbed, I mean the complete row is disturbed or complete one vertical line is disturbed, then such defects are called as line defects, right? So I repeat, point is nothing but the name itself indicates point. Somewhere in the complete solid, somewhere at one point, it might disturb or it might deviate its original side, or I can say departure, right? So that is called a point defect. Point defect means at single point, and the line defect is nothing but the complete row might go into the deviation. So such defects are called as what? Line defects, right? So why these solids are solids are undergoing into the imperfection is nothing but definitely what we can say is if we keep them for a longer time or if we expose them into air or sunlight, then definitely what happens, their geometry will be disturbed or irregularity will come into the solid. So that's why these are called as imperfection in solid. And these solid imperfection or the defects are of two type. One is nothing but point type of defect and another one is the line defect. So I will introduce what are the different type of point defects. So there are three type of point defects, right? So first of all, our heading will be point defect. Point defect means at single point the geometry or irregularity will come. Point defects. So these point defects are of three types. One is stoichiometric defect. Second one is non-stoichiometric defect. And third one will be what we can say is impurity defect. So this is again very important, impurity defect. So these are three type of defects we see in case of point defect. Right? So in today's class I will just explain what is stoichiometry. Right? Stoichiometry is nothing but in the last 11th standard only we have already discussed this stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect is nothing but stoichiometry. Stoichiometry means if the ratio is maintained. In the form of reaction, what we can say is there should be a reactant and there should be a product. Then only what we can call this as a complete reaction. If the reactant is 1 mole and the product is if we product getting as 2 mole, then definitely it is not called a stoichiometry. If both are same, right? If both are same, then it is called stoichiometry, right? They must be equal. How much amount of reactant we are taking into the reaction, that much amount of product we should get. That is nothing but the stoichiometric defect. That means the ratio should be maintained overall during the reaction, right? So see here, I will show one example, and in tomorrow's class also we will discuss about this. So now see, consider a solid and don't get confused, the ratio will be maintained. Say this as a reactant and this as a product. Right? Now you can understand very easily. So plus minus minus plus minus plus. Now minus plus, right? Minus minus plus and plus minus. Minus 1, 2, 3. So that means we will remove this one also. And now here I'm going to do like this, right? So now you just see how many positives are there. Positives are 3. 1, 2, 3. And how many negatives? Is to 3. That means what is its ratio? 1:1. Correct? Right? So now coming to here, how many positives? 2 positive is to how many negatives? 2 negative. That means what is its ratio? 1:1. That means this is called a stoichiometric defect or stoichiometry. The ratio should be maintained overall in the reaction, right? So the ratio should be maintained. So such type of defects are called as what? Stoichiometric defects. And we will discuss about non-stoichiometry also. I have just briefly gave an introduction. In the tomorrow's class, we will discuss it in detail. Thank you.